Hi, this is Trinesha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about investments. So, I know you're probably thinking you're about to talk about money now. So, I don't know what's going to happen in this video, but what made me want to talk about investments is yesterday I was trying to do some research, trying to figure out how I can become a better person. And I know you hear me say that a lot in these videos, but I really feel like we are always focused on things of the world or things that other people are doing or whatever else, and we might say, "Oh, this is the new thing," so people are trying to go do that, or people are saying that this is something that you should be learning about, or this is something you should be doing, or everyone's starting to do something some kind of way, and I never been the type of person to follow the crowd. I don't think that following God will ever go out of style. I think that's something that's timeless. I also think that bettering yourself is something that should never go out of style as well. When it comes to like the fads and the cliches and the the things that the societal standards of the world, I think that those things are just temporary. They're seasonal. And for me, when I think of investing, the best thing that I could do is invest in myself. And I know you're probably thinking, well, a lot of people are saying this, especially with the beginning of 2023, and people are trying to reinvent themselves and reinvent their life and get a schedule going and do things the right way, things that they need to be doing in life and things like that. And I totally agree with having a refresh and setting goals for yourself and trying to be intentional with your life. And I don't think it's something that just starts at the beginning of the year. I think it's something that starts whenever you decide that you want to do better. You don't have to, it doesn't matter if you failed up until this point. It doesn't matter if you started off right and then you had a few bad days. That's life. You're not going to be perfect. But every day that you put forth an effort, every day that you try to be better is a day, well, it's effort well spent. So don't ever feel like your efforts are in vain. It is for a reason, it's for a purpose, it's for you, it's for your family, it's for generations to come. So don't give up on yourself. I know it's really easy to say that and when you're not walking the walk or whatever else, but just know that even when you make mistakes, even when you mess up, even if everything that you're doing every day, even when you're trying isn't perfect, you trying is good enough. You trying is doing way better than you were in the past when you would have just given up right away as soon as you messed up, or you would have given up because you would have felt like, what's the point? The point is that you're trying. The point is that you trying is helping somebody else. There's somebody else that's looking up to you, or someone else sees you doing it, and they're thinking, oh my gosh, Samantha's doing it. If Samantha can do it, I know I could do it. And don't take that like as offensive or anything like that. Some people say it because they're like, wow, they've never seen you be this passionate about something before. They've never seen you put this type of effort in for anything before. So don't always just take it as an insult. Sometimes take it as a compliment, like, wow, I'm inspiring someone else. And today, I got back reading that book that I was reading because I kind of go back and forth sometimes between different books because there might be information in something that I'm learning for the day. And I feel like, okay, if I'm struggling with patience, I need to learn what's the best way to win at life, or I need to know what's the best way to be more patient with the people around me. What's the best way to calm my mind and to be more emotionally intelligent or whatever else it is. When I'm learning that, sometimes I need to learn that in the moment. But when I'm reading a book, even if it's for like just leisure purposes or and I say leisure, but I'm using it to grow or to become better. It's more like memoirs or it's inspirational stories or something like that that will fuel me or make me feel inspired by what it is that they've done. And I know that if they can do it, then they have a similar story to mine or they've had adversities in their life, then I know that I can do something. It might not be exactly what they're doing. It might not look like what it is that they're doing. But if God can use that person, then I know that He can use me as well. And it's not like I think I'm better than someone. It just means that this is the motivation that I needed. It means that if this person has went through something that's similar to me or worse, and they can make it to this point, God's already put me in another position. So why can't I do it? You know? And so as I was thinking about investing in ourselves, I have been, I really, I really have been fasting and focusing on God and focusing on my word and trying to, and it's so weird because when I fast, it shows me areas of my life where I was deficient. It shows me areas in my life where I might have been missing something, where my focus was on something that was unnecessary. And so I spent a lot of time doing some things that I thought were beneficial, but they were really just time fillers. They weren't time they weren't time efficient. Let's just put it that way. And so as I'm sitting here and I'm spending time with God, I'm trying to build a relationship, a better relationship with God. And I'm saying that because I feel like any relationship, whenever you're putting forth an effort, you can always do better. I'm not saying that, you're never going to do good at it. I'm just saying that it always takes effort. Real things that matter to you take real work. And so I want to be intentional with my relationship with God. And so as I'm reading the Bible and I'm listening to gospel music, instead of me just listening to music or listening to a sermon all day long, maybe now, especially I heard this one sermon and they said sometimes you're having so much stuff going on around you, you need a moment of quiet with God. And I know some people don't agree with that and they may think, well, you can do it anytime. You really can do it anytime. And for some people, it's different. And they said something about when you don't know what to do, that's when you should be building your relationship with God. When you're praying for something and it's not coming yet, that's when you should be building your relationship with God because you don't know what God's going to need to be able to carry you through. And building that relationship there will help you build a bridge to the area that God is trying to take you. And sometimes we forget that God has all the answers. God has everything that we need. Anything that our hearts could possibly desire is what God could give us. But it needs to be right. It needs to be at the appointed time. It can't just be prematurely. And I know I say prematurely a lot because sometimes we feel like we're ready for something and God's saying we're not ready yet. Sometimes we feel like we're ready for that job making all this money, but we can't even manage the 20,000 that we're making. Or we say, "Oh yeah, God, I'm glad that you blessed me with six figures, but can you make me a multimillionaire?" You're making six figures and you can't even make that work. How is God going to bless you with multi-millions when you can't budget your money right now or be a good steward of your finances right now? We really have to be intentional and investing in the right things. And I know I said I don't know if I was or wasn't going to talk about money, but I think it's really important for us to be a good steward because we're showing God that we can be trusted. We're showing him that we really do appreciate the things that he's given us. We really will be even better with more. We will be giving more glory to him. We will be doing more things to serve with more money. It's not just for greed. It's not just for our own selfish wants. It's because we will be doing something that's necessary. We will be helping the world in one way or another. And I think that's what he truly desires from us, for us to invest in him. When we are invested in God, everything else is given to us. It's nothing else that we could possibly need because he gives us what we need, not what we want. I want a lot of things sometimes and sometimes I know they're not good for me and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. And sometimes I don't understand why they're not good for me and I'm still like, thank you, Jesus. And I was whenever I'm about to say something, I want to make sure that I'm clearing it, that it's all good to say. Like, I don't want to just say things just to say them or say something prematurely. So I try to make sure that I'm intentional with these messages. So when you see me pause, it's because I got to take a moment and make sure that this is something that will be relevant to speaking life into others or to inspiring or motivating or telling my truth, and maybe it will be used to help someone else find their way to God or something. And so, so when I was thinking about ways to invest in myself, I saw this one video. It did have something to do with like 2023 or something like that, but it was one of the people who really truly work on themselves and they are focused on God as well. I'm not there with them 24/7, but whenever I hear them, I do feel peace. And when and I I don't look to them like I'm idolizing them. I look to them like this is inspirational. And so when I hear them tell like their stories, or and it'll be like they're the ones that do more of a like a day in the life kind of thing, you know. But their day in the life is centered around God. And so when when I am listening to them talk about like different things that they're doing religiously or things that kind of help them, I'm like, maybe this will be able to help me as well. Just like when I do these videos, I think, okay, this is the thing that helped me today. Maybe it'll help someone else. And so they are talking and they say something about ways that they are trying to improve themselves in 2023, and it was just like a small part in the whole video, but when I heard that part I knew that this was something that I might try to see if it can help me in this area of my life, because lately I've been feeling a little different, and I don't know if it's the fast, I don't know if it's life, I don't know if it's new positions or what's going on, but I just I feel like there's something else. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be ungrateful in any way. I'm saying it because I really do feel like there's something else. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it is. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know God. And no matter how I feel about that, I just I have to keep being faithful. I have to keep doing things that I feel will be beneficial. I have to be serving and staying focused on God. I don't know like how things are going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know God. It's just so in the video, they talked about how when they are thinking about, improving their year, what they were thinking about doing is investing in certain things for themselves. And so one of the things that they said was getting sets, like getting like, pajama sets or whatever else. And they were saying that, when they would wear like their big t-shirts, it's comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with sleeping in big t-shirts. I agree. I love big t-shirts. You see me on some of these videos, I'm getting ready for bed and I have my big t-shirt on. But since I've been in like this weird, and it's not like a waiting stage because I know what I need to do. I know what my purpose is. I know what God placed on me to do. I just don't have any instructions for what to do yet, like where to move, what to do, where I'm going, like what events or non-events, or if I'm supposed to be this place or that place, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know that I need to be obedient to God. And I keep saying that because that's really all I know. I don't have any instructions for anything else. I just know that I need to be Christ-like in every situation, even in situations I don't want to be in. I have to be the person who acts like Christ. I can't behave like society, and even when I'm not happy, and even if it's not what I want, I need to make sure that I'm still showing a version of what Christ looks like in every place that I go and every person that I talk to. No matter how angry or upset I am, or disappointed, or heartbroken, or no matter what, I know that I still have to be faithful. I still have to do the right thing. And is it easy? Absolutely not. It is not easy, especially when sometimes it seems easier just to do the wrong thing, but I can't do the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing. That's what makes it even harder. It's like it would be so easy to just manipulate a situation, or just to go into a place that I know I shouldn't be, or to be with someone just because I can, instead of being with someone that I actually want to be with. And so this during this year, the rest of your life, I was going to say during this year, but you could watch this at any time. So who knows when the person who's supposed to see this video will see it. And I want to make sure that I'm I'm saying all the things that need to be heard. I want to make sure that whatever it is that God puts on my heart for me to say, I'm saying. I don't want to hold back. I don't want anything to be at lack. I don't want anything to be without. And while we're investing in it in ourselves, it reminded me of when I was reading the book earlier today. I'm reading again. Killing Comparison. I can't remember who it's by, like the name of the author, but it's called Killing Comparison. The girl on the front is wearing a blue, like it looks like a trench coat with a tan hat and tan boots. But I don't have the book in here with me today. But I was reading this part and I wrote this down. So God's been like putting on my heart these different things during different times while I'm reading, while I'm doing different things in my life, and I will be just walking or something, and there will be either a person says something, or I'll be reading the Bible, or I'll be reading a book, or I'll be talking to someone and they say something, and it's like, and I feel it in my spirit, and the next thing you know, I write like a page or something, or half a page, or I write like a little snippet. And so today I wrote like a little snippet, and it just came from, I was reading the book, and it was talking about ways to like speak life into yourself when something negative happens, or if there's jealousy or insecurity, or whenever you feel doubtful about something. And it's like you could see someone doing something, or there could be like a party and you're not invited to, and you can just feel like so envious, like why is everyone else invited and I'm not invited, or feel left out. And instead of saying why is everyone else invited and you're not, what you could do is say, I'm glad that I wasn't invited because I got to go to such and such. Or if you, maybe that's a bad example, but it was just kind of like, well, I guess the person was invited and then they weren't invited, but they weren't on the list, but they were invited. And so they felt like, why wasn't I on the list? And so then they called, or when they got the call, they said, I wasn't on the list. And they said, oh, it wasn't that we didn't want you on the list. We just haven't invited everyone. And so instead of her feeling badly and saying, oh my goodness, I'm left out, they don't really think I'm important enough, what she did was she said, is it okay for me to invite other people who are important as well, or other people who would be significant to this event? So she took it and she turned it into a powerful thing, into something that she was serving and something that she was intentional in, that she could help other people in instead of feeling sorry for herself, which made me feel empowered in that moment. And she used the scripture in the book, and it was from, let's see, it was from First Corinthians, and she used chapter 3, verse 5 through 9. And when I got to the end of this verse, the last line says, you are God's building. And it made me think about that video that I did about building or something, I think was the name of the video. And I was saying something about, I had read that scripture. I think it was like, I don't know if it was in First Corinthians. It could have been. But it was something about brick by brick or something is what it said. And, or it was about building, but it had something else in it. And so when I heard this, it kind of made me think about that video, but it also made me think of this. And so I'm going to read like a little thing that I wrote. I know. And so it says, you are God's building. That's what it says in First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, at the end of verse 9. And so I put, he builds us from the ground up. He creates us. He creates a good foundation within us, one built in faith. He restores our soul. Brick by brick, he places the words of scripture to build us into a complete disciple. Strong winds may blow. There may be a few storms, but our faith never wavers, because God will never leave us nor forsake us. Even when I am weak, he is strong. He holds me together. No matter what comes my way, when I stay focused on God, nothing can stand in the way of His creation and the purpose on my life. He creates a hedge of protection around me. But that's just something that I wrote just from the building, from us, from You Are God's building. And for some reason, not for some reason, but I just was being obedient and reading it because this, someone needed that, I guess. Maybe I need it in the future, and this will be one of the videos that, a couple months from now, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I don't even remember saying that, but it's so helpful. But yeah. And so I like to think of us like that. When we invest in ourselves, when we invest in God, He really can do anything in us. No matter what happens around us, no matter what kind of weather is around us, what kind of storms we encounter, like He just strengthens us. He gives us that strength even when we're weak, even when we feel like we can't hold it together. Because our foundation is built on faith, everything else around us is just exactly where it needs to be. And so it's so funny that I say that because while I'm on this fast, God really has me looking within myself to see what it is that I truly want in life. And like I said, there are some areas where I notice that I just have been filling time. And I've been in my purpose and I've been intentional. But some things have just been time fillers. They haven't been purpose filled. They've been time filled. And when I look at the different things that I'm doing, and I'm saying that every moment needs to be intentional. I'm not saying that you can't be a mom and still be intentional, or work a 9 to 5 and be intentional, or anything else. I honestly think that through this fast, God is using it to show me that there's areas in my life that need to be purpose filled and not just a time filled slot. They really need to be areas of my life that I'm using for a bigger purpose, not just because. And whenever your mind is idle, the idle mind goes hungry. That's not me, that's Proverbs. And it's so true, because when you are just filling time, when you are doing things just to fill time, you notice that those are the times that you do the worst things. Those are the times that you pick the worst person, because you're in such a rush to be in a relationship that you pick the first guy who's not right for you. You pick the first woman who is not a wife. You pick the first person that comes along that seems like, they talk a real good game. They do. But that is not what you need for your life. You jump on the first opportunity for a career because you feel like this is the job for you, and that's not where God told you to go. He told you to go at the place that was 20K less, or 10K, 5K less. And because you thought that you were going to make more money, you thought that your purpose would be more, that you thought that you'd be able to do more. And it's taking your time away from God. Now, on Wednesdays, you have to pull over on the side of the road just to participate in Bible study because you can't be home for Bible study on Wednesdays. Now, on Sundays, you're so exhausted, you're finding it hard to focus in church because your job is draining. Now, instead of you being able to have that extra time after work because you get off early to do your dream work, to be in your purpose or serving other people or helping people less fortunate, now you barely have the energy to pour into your business because your job is so draining. Some of us really need to prioritize what's the most important things in our life. What do you really want to invest your time into? Do you want to invest it into someone who's going to waste your time? Do you want to invest it in a job that's not helping you with your dream or helping you with the purpose that God put on your heart? I'm not saying that you can't be in a regular job, or, I'm not saying that you just have to be an entrepreneur or anything like that. I'm saying for you to take a moment and defer with God and figure out if this is what He really intends for you in your life. Does He intend for you to be here? Does he intend for you to be doing this thing? And do not take that and think that it means, oh, just don't work at this place or don't do this thing just because you don't feel like doing it. No, what is God telling you to do? Because sometimes God will place you in a place that you're uncomfortable to make you into a stronger person so you can use it for his purpose. Sometimes God will have you there. There was a part in the book that I was reading today where this girl was saying, oh, it's so messed up that she needs to be stuck in this job, in this position. And the other girl or the other person who works there got a promotion, but what she didn't realize is that her colleague that she works with, that she wouldn't work with if she got hired for the better position, needed to hear her inspiration every day because she could barely make ends meet. She was a single parent of 2 kids, and her being able to talk to her every day is what helped get her through the day because she had that inspiration, because she had someone to confide in when she felt like she was going to fall apart. Sometimes we think that because we see people on TV or different places that that's what your purpose looks like. But everybody's perfect purpose looks different because everybody's life is different. If all of us had the same purpose, there would be no other careers or things going on in life. Like everyone would be doing the exact same thing. We would be a clone of each other. That's not what God created. We are all individually made. He knows every hair on our head. Every hair on our head is numbered. That doesn't mean that every hair on our head cannot be numbered if we're all the same numbers or if we're all the same exact person. If that was the case, we would all look identical. We wouldn't look different shades and complexions with different curl patterns and everything else. We would all look like brown eyes, tan skin. I don't know. I'm just naming something with blonde and red hair. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that's what we would all look like. We wouldn't all look different. We wouldn't all have different characteristics or features. Even identical twins are different. So if that was the case, if God didn't intend for your purpose to be being a parent, maybe you're raising somebody who's just changing the world. Maybe you're the friend of someone who will change the world. Or maybe you're that person who stops someone from doing something that they can't take back. Maybe you are the aunt who talks to your niece that inspires her to keep moving forward when she thought that she was going to give up. Maybe you are the uncle who has been around for his niece when her dad wasn't in her life. Maybe you are the type of guy who is a great father, who is raising an incredible son who will end up changing the world. Like, everybody's purpose is going to look a little different. We don't all have to be doing the exact same thing, all entrepreneurs, doing YouTube videos or something else, and that's our purpose. Like, your purpose can be so many different things. Like, the way that God puts the purpose in your heart, the things that he intends for you to do can be used in so many different ways. That's why you see people who are successful have like seven different streams of income or whatever else, because it's not just only pinpointed in one area. It's not just strictly to one thing. It's usually a plethora of different things that accumulate into something bigger or accumulate into more. And so, so whenever you are thinking about what your purpose is or investing in yourself, make sure you're really thinking about what it is that God wants and not what it is that you want for your life. Because God's wants are definite. Your wants are kind of a little wavy. Like, God was asking me earlier what I truly want in life. And I know what I would like to do. But when he asks me what I want, when I pray to him about certain things and he's like, is this what you want? And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is what I really want. And I'm just going to be real transparent. I feel like we all don't know what it is that we truly want. And that's one of the things that I thought was like so eye-opening when I watched. I know people are going to laugh because this is a hilarious movie, but And I'm not saying people should just go watch this, but I was watching this movie called Bruce Almighty. People have probably heard about it with Jim Carrey. And so so I'm watching this movie and God's on there. Not God, but the character is God in this movie because Bruce becomes God because God gives him like temporary, whatever. So he ends up being like God. And so being able to like perform miracles or like grant prayers and stuff like that. And so he's talking to Bruce and he says a lot of people are always praying for what it is that they want when in reality they don't even know what they want. And I felt like that was so true because sometimes we'll say we want $1 million, but we don't know how to steward our finances properly, or we don't know how to use it to benefit the kingdom. We don't know how to act if we get $1 million. Sometimes some of us be like, our personality right now is definitely highlighted. Like the things that we do wrong are definitely like it's a spotlight on those things when you have more money. It's not like all of a sudden you're healed. All of that trauma just went away because of money. Like that's not how it works. You have to be intentional before you get the money. And then when you get the money, you become better with it because you are already a good steward of your finances. You can't just, it's funny because I was watching a video by AO one day and he said, I guess it's a mentor, someone had said that making money is easy, but keeping it is hard. And I think that's so true because you could work 10 jobs and make money. You could work one job and make money. You could sell something and make money. But keeping it, being able to like really truly be a good steward of it is not easy. It really takes discipline, and not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people are willing to sacrifice for the greater good or to get better. Most people kind of want what they want right now and they can't wait any longer for it. And so I really think that we just need to be intentional. We really need to make sure that we know what it is that we want when we're asking God for it. Like, don't just ask just because you're like, God, remember that one time and then I got my life straight. And so now that I'm on the straight and narrow, I just want like a bunch of fries to like fall from the sky. Like, come on, that's not about to happen unless like somebody turns over a fry truck and like on the bedtime stories, and all of a sudden all the fries are falling from the bridge, and you just get to eat fries or something. Like this is not Shazam, Kazam. This is this is real life. So when you're asking for something, make sure it's something that you truly actually want, not like a genie, because God is not a genie, he is God. So it's not I wish for $1 million. I wish for a Porsche. Not saying that God can't bless you with a Porsche or he can't bless your finances. I'm just saying to really think about what it is that you truly want and don't just call on God like he's a genie. Like really spend time with him. Really be intentional about your relationship with him. Build your relationship with him. Be in your Bible, learn the word, because people can tell you a lot of things, but when you know it for yourself, it's a little different. And so just make sure that you're really seeking God first above everything else, because God's not going to give you something that you idolize either. If you idolize that 911 Porsche Turbo with the white on blue, I mean, or something like that with the clear window and the clear roof or whatever else, like you're probably not going to be able to get it because God would never want you to put anything before him. No man, no person, place, or thing would he ever want you to have before him because he's a jealous God. So really think about what it is that you truly want and why you want it. Is it going to benefit you or is it going to destroy you? If you get that guy that you want and he's not good for you and God knows he's not good for you, he's not going to give it to you. He's not going to give you a guy that will destroy you, that will pull you from your purpose, that will make you feel like you're not good enough because he barely wants to be with you. He's going to want you to be with the guy who truly desires you, who truly loves you, who truly cares about you, who truly will honor and respect you. Not just somebody who's there to use you or someone who deigns to have you be a part of his life. He's not just going to give you the job that makes a lot of money just so you can make a lot of money and then splurge on something that you don't really need to blow your head up and to keep you from being humble. He's not just going to give you the job just so that you could have a title and then forget who you are. He's not going to give you anything that is going to take your focus away from him. That's going to take your focus away from your purpose or your focus away from you being better and staying humble. Every time I pray, I try to do this once a week. Sometimes I do it every day. I'm just being real because I'm just trying to be honest. Like, I would like to say this prayer every day, but sometimes I forget to say this one. Sometimes I forget to slip humility or being humble in my prayer. But for the most part, at least once a week, just to be on the safe side so I'm not unintentionally lying, at least once a week I do say that. I always pray that, God keep me humble. You're always blessing me. I mean, from the moment I wake up, I'm blessed. Anything else, of course, is a bonus. And with the things that you're giving me that I already don't deserve, I just want to make sure that no matter who's in my life, whatever person, place, or thing you bless me with, allow me to always remain humble. Always keep me humble. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be on stage in front of millions of people and God's just gonna be like make me embarrass myself so that I don't have to so that I don't have to have a big head and become arrogant and egotistical or anything like that. Like, I just want to make sure that no matter what God does, I'm humble. And it's so funny because this book has been teaching me so much, the killing comparison, because I really, so when I was selling my books at the beginning, this is just me being transparent. I was selling my books at the beginning and I wasn't expecting anybody to buy them at all. Like, I knew God told me to do it, but I wasn't sure if God just wanted me to be obedient. And so I wrote the book. I know he told me that, it would help people. He didn't really say like it was going to be super successful or not successful. He did tell me I was going to sell out of my first shipment, which I did. Not to humble brag or anything. I'm just letting you know what happened, just to kind of keep you in the loop with the story so you can kind of follow where I'm going. And so he did tell me that on the first day, and within the first 24 hours, I did sell out of the first shipment. But that was God that sold out of the first shipment, because if it was up to me, people don't generally, I don't want to say, I'm not going to speak that into existence, but, and I just, when it comes to people and me, especially like sometimes women, they don't usually like to support me. Like, I have some women that do, and a lot of guys will say things, like compliments and stuff like that. And actually, let me not say it like that, because there are a lot of women who have been super supportive now, especially since we are, becoming entrepreneurs and, growing our finances and things like that. I'm just saying that certain things, like, I'll just say the right people who needed it got it. The right people who need certain things, or, who need to get like a inspirational word, or like for me to speak life into them, or like have a moment where someone's like have a listening ear, or read my book, or get my workbook, or whatever else. Whenever the right people who needed it, who God intended it to have it, have it. Let's just put it that way. So it doesn't turn into one of those things. And so when I wrote the book and that happened, I was like, okay, I knew that was going to happen. And then I got into this moment where I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do such and such. God didn't tell me that was going to happen, but I was like, maybe I'll do such and such. And so because that was me and not God, it ended up not being a thing. And so I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, I really was hoping that I could be on this place, or I could do this at this place, or go to this event and have my books or whatever else. And God never told me any of that stuff was going to happen. But in my head, like I was a New York Times bestseller or something. Like I knew, like nobody knows who I am, but but in my head, like that's what was happening. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, there's this high where like a lot of people buy and then like a few people buy or some people buy or whatever else. It's not like a constant, like always like this. I mean, it could be for some other people who are already authors. I don't know how it works for other people, but it was kind of like this big, and then it was like, and it was like, and then it was like, and it was like, yeah. So it was like that. It wasn't just like a constant like climb or where it went like this and then it was kind of like that. It's kind of been like, but it's been low. So I've been kind of like, oh my gosh, like I did this and I really was hoping that this would happen. But in the book that I'm reading, Killing Comparison, the same thing happened for her. She wanted her book to be on New York Times bestseller, and some of her friends were on the list, and she was feeling some type of way about it. Like, oh man, it really sucks that this didn't happen for me. And, it was hard to be happy for her friends because they were, on the New York Times bestseller list and all that other stuff. And God said to her, mm, I could feel this. And when she wrote this, I was like, this is exactly how God talks to me. I know how you feel in this moment. And she was like, God said, whose name are you trying to make big? Yours or mine? Because I blessed you with the words for this book so that you could help the people that I needed you to help. This is not for me to make your name great. This is to make my name great. And when I read that, I was like, whew. It's so true. It's not about me. It is so not about me. It's about God. And the people who needed the book got it. And then she went through and she talked about how so many people were saying their lives changed or how it helped so many people. And it really made me flash back to all the people who were telling me their story and telling me how inspired they were and how it really truly helped them. And that was the whole purpose of writing it in the first place. It wasn't about me at all. It was all about God. And it really just gave me a big reality check for real, because I was about to be like, when I said, God, keep me humble, he was like, okay, I got you. I mean, you might need to like put on a scarf, or you might need to wear your hair down a couple times because your edges might be gone. Like, he was really coming for me, like I needed it. I needed it so that I could be humble, so that I could stay humble, so that I don't get a big head or start to be like super arrogant or anything. I want to make sure that I'm blessed, and I want to make sure I'm seeking God and I'm humble my entire life. I don't care if I'm a billionaire. If God blesses me to become a billionaire one day to serve and to pour into other people or whatever else he intends for me to do with that money, then that's what I need to do. I don't need to be thinking about how many yachts I'm going to buy or whatever else. Like, I really need to think about, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with going on a yacht. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying that that being humble is super important to me. Even if I'm on a yacht once a month or once a year or something, just to cruise, just to be on there, just to like have an event or something, I want to make sure that no matter where I go in life, where God takes me, I'm always humble and always intentional and always investing in myself. So the girl had said something about getting the sets. So this is one of the sets that I got. It I'm not going to go into detail with what comes with it and everything else, but this is something that I feel like I could change up. I brought it's one, two, I think it's three different ones, but I'm doing like a capsule thing. So the shorts that I have, they're like tan satin shorts. And then it's like a green top with this robe. But this robe, I can wear it every night or whatever else because I'm not just going to wear the robe all day long. I just have it on for this video because I don't want my arms out and I want to make sure that, you know, even though I'm in like like nightwear. I want to make sure that I'm just being ladylike and godlike. Like I'm not trying to be on here wearing something that's inappropriate. I want to make sure that, I am I'm still being myself, and I still want to be what God intended for me to be. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, and I don't want to say there is or isn't anything wrong. I'm not like doing a personal attack on anyone. I'm saying for me, I want to be ladylike, and I want to be godlike. I want to make sure that Christ-like. I want to make sure that I'm doing the things that God would intend for me to do. Like I know He wouldn't want me doing this video in something that is supposed to be for, some for a future husband or something. Like I want to make sure that, and when I say that, I feel like so many people just judge me right there. But it is what it is. I want to make sure that I am just not being inappropriate, And so, and especially like if guys watch this video, I don't want them to be watching it and then, it to be a distraction. I want to make sure that it's intentional and I'm saying the things that God needs for me to say so that they don't feel like it's like something for attention. Like this is for me to be in my purpose, to be serving. It's not for me to be serving up. I'm trying to be serving, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that, I'm being me. And I did try different things, and this was the thing that was me. And so I was like, okay, I feel comfortable in this. I feel comfortable, like if I hop on a video like I did with like the big t-shirts and stuff, I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm doing the most. And so I was like, this is good. And not only that, but it makes you feel better about yourself. Like for women, that investing in a sets thing was a really good idea because it does feel nice. It feels nice to like put effort into things, even when it's your sleepwear or your loungewear. Like when I'm around the house in loungewear, I already do that. I wear like, even if I have joggers on, they're not joggers with a whole bunch of holes or paint all over them. They are joggers that fit properly. They don't have a bunch of faded stains on them, and I wear it in like something that's cute. So if I had to like run to the grocery store to pick up something, I would feel comfortable enough in it to where I look put together and I don't look like I just threw on anything and walked out of the house with a big old hole in my shirt. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with people who can't afford a shirt or anything like that. I'm just saying for me to be presentable, for me to take care of myself, for me to be the type of person that I want to be for myself, for me to feel like me being my best version of myself. That's the way that I want to present myself in the world. And so I want to be intentional. I want to invest in myself. And so I invested in a few sleepwear sets because I was like, okay, this is something that I don't do. Like I literally just wear a big giant t-shirt and I'm just good. But I was like, I really do want to put an effort in every area of my life. I want to make sure that I'm being intentional in everything, not just in the things that I just want to put, like, oh, this is something just because it's this, let me do that. Like, I could be at home for the day, and like I said, loungewear, even if I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt or something else, I just make sure that it's presentable. I make sure that, I mean, I don't even have to be on these videos. I only do them when God says, okay, if God says no video tonight, it's no video. I'm just focused on me being me being doing, oh my gosh, it's so late. I didn't realize it was that late that fast. I guess because I went and I did like a bunch of relaxing stuff tonight before I got on this video. You know, I I was so intentional today. I got like a few errands done, but I really spent some time focusing on things that I felt would make me more focused and doing the things that I need to be doing in my life. Like sometimes I am budgeting and I'm in a season where I am trying to strictly stick to the budget that I have because I'm doing something with a family member and there are some funds that have to go towards that. So I set aside funds for that every month. So instead of me spending like this amount, I can only spend this amount because I want to stick to the budget that I have. I also don't want to just let my life pass me by, and I've been budgeting so much that I haven't done anything for myself or I haven't done anything that pours into me. So I want to make sure that like I started taking a class. So I'm taking a class because I want to expand my mind. Learn a new I want to learn something new. I want to make sure that I want to make sure I have other qualifications. I want to make sure qualifications. I want to make sure that I know additional things, that I have another trade under my belt. So this will be something that I'm doing for fun. I say for fun, and people are like, "You're taking a class for fun." That is fun to me. When I learn new stuff, I know I'm so judged, and everybody's gonna think that's boring, and I get it, cause I'm weird like that. I really am. I just am the type of person who just loves reading books. I love learning new stuff. I love just trying to be better, trying to be a better person. I really do like doing all the things that people consider boring is the things that I like. And a lot of guys don't like that. They want me to be like wild and crazy, and I don't want to be like that. I just kind of want to be calm, and I kind of just I want to do the right thing, you know? I don't want to be worried about like any extra stuff. I don't want to have to deal with any extra stuff. I just want to respect myself and respect the person. I don't want to do anything else, you know? Like I don't mind like putting forth an effort if someone else is putting forth an effort or they're intentional. I just don't want to be doing the most just because somebody else likes to do the most. Like I'm only in competition with myself. I don't have time to try to be somebody else. I could never be anybody else. So it just is what it is. And so I'm taking a class, and then I am two classes. I'm taking one class that's for the trade, and then I'm doing one class that's just for fun, because every month I do something that's not like my normal thing. Like I will study like something about a foreign country, or like I might learn about Paris or something, because one day I might want to go there. So if I want to go there, I need to learn about the different museums. I need to learn the history. Okay, I don't need to learn the history, but I want to learn the history because I like stuff like that. I know it sounds so boring, but I really do like stuff like that. It's nothing wrong with broadening your horizon. I don't feel like that is a bad thing. What is wrong with wanting to be well versed or educated in different areas of your life? That's just something that's like my jam. That's what I like to do. And so I'm gonna do it. Not everybody's gonna get that, but yes, that's what I like to do. And so I'm doing that, and like I said, I have the three sets, but I'm doing the capsule thing. So I got the tan shorts with the green top, and then this, put together. It was between this one, or I was gonna do a black one, like all black. And then I was like, let me just go with this. It's comfortable. I feel comfortable in it. It's not something that's doing the most, so I'm good with this. And I had this necklace I was gonna put on, but I was like, I'm not gonna go, you know, because at night I try to do like a relaxing thing. So I do that, and I might do like a shower, bath, or something. And hopefully this isn't TMI. But I do that because it relaxes me, so then that way I sleep better at night. And I'll do like white noise or pink noise or brown noise. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's really soothing. It's really relaxing. Relaxing. It helps you sleep. It helps you when you're meditating. And when I say meditating, usually my meditation is spending time with God. So I'm quiet, and I might be sitting crisscross applesauce. I might be, just laying flat, and I lay flat, and you could put a towel underneath your lower back, and what it does is it calls on your core muscles. So it strengthens your core by pulling. So all of your abdominal muscles, like all of the different areas of your muscles are all contracted when you have the towel beneath your back. And while you're laying flat, not only am I like meditating and spending time with God, but I'm also keeping my stomach flat, or I'm also like, I'm also strengthening my core. I'm also calling on those muscles so that they can strengthen. So that's just another thing that I like to do. But when you're doing that, it really does allow you to relax. And so I try to be intentional with that. And every night I do that. So every night, you know, I'll go through, I'll do like the bath, the shower, and the relaxing thing. And then I will go through and I'll do like one of these sets. So, you know, I got the green with the tan, I got the blue with the flowers, and then I got a blue flower button up, which is with the black shorts. And then I have the black satin pants that I already had, which is going to be interchangeable with all the tops. And then I have a red pair and I have a blue pair with like some sort of design in it, which the blue will go with the blue top. So I will be like changing those out. And then I have a black, but the black one is like a little different. So I don't know, but I probably will do black with that one. And then the red pants. But yeah. So all together, I'll have like enough for a week, which is good. And then eventually, like if I need to invest again, then I will in 6 months to a year or however long. But I want to make sure I keep it up so I can make sure that I'm intentional about not only my daily wear, but my lounge wear as well and my sleepwear. Because I don't want to just change up my sleepwear because I meet someone and, you know, we are in a serious relationship and whatever else like happens in the future. I want to make sure that I am intentional with my sleepwear because I care about it, because I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because I can't expect someone to do something for me that I'm not doing for myself. I can't expect someone to get me flowers if I'm not getting myself flowers. I know this is just like a little side, you know, thing, but I'm not saying this because this is something that every person, every woman desires. Some people don't like flowers because they die quickly. Like I can't take care of flowers at all. If you buy me flowers, they're gonna die in a day or two. I'm just telling you ahead of time. So don't be disappointed. They might live 3 days, but I love getting flowers. I like buying flowers for myself. I love the smell and I like seeing the different colors of the flowers and everything. Like, I don't really like fake flowers. I do like the real ones, unless it's the ones that have that perfume stuff on it and they just stay forever. Like, but I like them. I like receiving them, but they will not live. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Like, I tried everything. I don't know what it is. I can't keep the flowers alive. So it's just one of those things. That's just me being honest. And, you know, so you do flowers for yourself if you like flowers. You do, if you like going out to eat, then you need to be taking yourself out to eat. If you like going to the movies, go to the movies by yourself. I know it might be awkward when you see all the couples there and you're the only person that's single, but if you want to see the movie, you're going to go by yourself. Like, you don't have to wait for your friends or to be with somebody to go see a movie. Just enjoy the movie. Especially if, like, in my area, they got this movie theater and you could really, like, I'm not saying I'm encouraging or not encouraging this. I'm just saying they have it an area upstairs that has a bar, it has like pool, it has a place to eat, and then not only that, but you can order food to have it in the theater, and I mean real food. Like you can have sushi or pizza or you know wings or whatever else it is, popcorn of course, and then all the other stuff. But go to a place like that. It's a place for you to just relax. You can watch this movie just like the way that you would want to if you were on a date. You could eat all the food that you want to. You don't have to split it with somebody. You could be in the lounge area and just relax by yourself. Like you don't have to worry about trying to start a conversation or have that awkward silence. You can just enjoy your own company. You can put in your AirPods or your earbuds or whatever people are listening to that don't have AirPods, and you can just really listen to some soothing music and enjoy the space. You could, I mean, if you want to go paintballing, get a group of people and go paintballing. If you want to go, if you want to go like dune buggy riding or riding some four wheelers or driving a NASCAR, I'm not saying these are things I like to do. I'm just saying in general, if you want to go like test out a new, like, I don't know, convertible or, I mean, Corvette or something like that. If you want to test out something like that, you don't have to wait to be in a relationship to do that. If you want to go in a hot air balloon, why don't you get, just like the picnic thing that I suggested, why don't you make yourself a picnic basket with some a drink, like some sparkling water or something, and some fruit, some cheese and crackers or whatever. Like, do a whole vibe. Like, when I tell you I go all out for myself, I really go all out for myself, because if ain't nobody else doing it, I'm doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm saying I wouldn't appreciate someone else doing it and accept it. I'm just saying that while I'm single, I want to make sure that I enjoy every single moment. And I'm not trying to wait for someone else to do it. I want to make sure I can do it now, because as long as God blesses me with another day, I want to take advantage of that day. I don't want to just wait around waiting to live my life. I'm living my life right now, you know? And so, but yeah, if you want to do the hot air balloon thing, go get in the hot air balloon. Go make your basket. I mean, for real. Like, don't get a book, because usually people go in a hot air balloon because they want to see the clouds and they want to see like the scenery and stuff. But take your drink with you, with your glass. I mean, don't be up there doing the most and then fall out or something. Just really really just be safe. Safety first. And make yourself your basket with your nice little setup, and get yourself some flowers if you want to. Do your whole thing. And while you're up there, just think about your life. Think about the things that you want to do in the future. Look out and appreciate the scenery, all the things that God has created around you that you get to be a part of witnessing, that you get to see with your own eyes. Take in that moment and think about this being only the beginning. If you could do this by yourself, imagine what God can bless you with, especially if he said that you are going to be with somebody else. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? That's how I think. When I go on my me dates, when I plan stuff for myself, I literally just take in the moment. Every single moment I get to breathe in and out. Every single moment I get to walk, talk, smell, hear, see, taste. Every moment that I get to experience something new, like something that I never even imagined I would do in my life, and I try it out for the first time, like the ballroom fitness classes or a handstand class or whatever else. Like, it's things that I would have never thought that I would ever be able to do or ever want to do, or try anything new. Like, try something new, because sometimes the reason why you feel like so bored or so like, oh, I just wish I had someone or whatever. Sometimes I wish I don't have somebody. I don't know what your thing is, but just appreciate what you have already first. And then also appreciate yourself. Even if you're with someone, appreciate yourself. If you're not with someone, appreciate yourself. Like, really cherish the fact that you get to be alone at this moment, or you get to be with someone in this moment. Appreciate the fact that you do have your health, or that you have all your limbs, or that you have your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, whatever else it is that you have. Appreciate the fact that God blessed you enough. If even if you can't afford, like, let's say, not less, probably don't say can't afford, but even if you feel like it's not in your budget to do a hot air balloon, there are so many free things that you can do. Look it up online. Look up walking in the park, or creating a picnic for yourself with groceries that you're already going to buy every anyways. Go try out a food truck in the area that is good rated. Like, don't just try any kind of food. Like, in your house, do like a in-home picnic, or create something like some sort of environment where you just do something like a movie night with yourself, where you just relax and it's just you by yourself, and you really just get to see that movie that you've always wanted to see. You pop your own popcorn, you go to the store and get like the ranch seasoning or white cheddar or whatever. Like, really do it up. Don't just spare nothing. Like, you deserve this. So just do what you do for yourself so that you could feel special, because if you don't feel special, nobody else is going to think that you're special. I know it's really sad for me to say it so bluntly, but it's so true. How can you expect someone to appreciate you when you don't appreciate yourself? If you don't appreciate the fact that if you don't feel like you deserve anything better, then why would someone come into your life and treat you any better than that? Why would someone treat you the way that you always hoped or desired or prayed for someone to treat you if you don't even respect and honor yourself? You really truly have to love yourself first. You really truly have to love the person that you are, the person that God created you to be, and know that you can become better. You don't have to be, if there's something that you don't like, you can change it. You're not stuck just because you did one bad thing or because you made one mistake in your life. Everybody makes a mistake. It's okay. Now from this moment forward, just be intentional. Just do better. It's okay. You can do it. You really can do it. I know you're thinking like, oh, you're saying that because you got blah. I haven't always had blah. I started probably just where you are. I started and I really couldn't even imagine my life being like this. I never even dreamed that this would be where I would end up. And this is only the in between stage as long as I have another opportunity to breathe tomorrow. This is only just another day going towards the future that God has for me. And if God already did this, oof, he's already showing off. Let me just tell you that. Like, I can't imagine what else God could do in my life if he has already done this. Which is why I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to act. For real. Like, I don't know how to act. So, like, I'll be out doing stuff and I'll be like, ooh, and then I'll be like, okay, stay humble, stay humble. But I'm still going to dance and be happy. But, ooh. I really do that. And so, yes, I don't want to make this video super duper long, even though it's already an hour. And if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. And I really truly appreciate you watching this video. And I hope that you heard something that spoke life into you, that really inspired you or motivated you or allowed you to see that life isn't just one way or another. Like, you have to be willing to be intentional, to be disciplined and invest in yourself. And in conclusion, remember that you are important, that you are important to God, and you are worthy because he created you. Know that you can be better. Every time you get an opportunity to breathe is another opportunity for you to do better. I know we think of investment as just financial, but invest in God. Invest in making sure that you're seeking him first. Invest in your relationship with him, whether that's going to church, Bible study, praying, spending time with God, really building that relationship so that you can discern when things really are for you and not just what you want. Invest in sleepwear. And I'm not saying you have to spend like thousands of dollars just to feel good about yourself or just to have nice sleepwear. I almost spent a lot of money on some sleepwear earlier. And then God was like, girl, what you doing? And I was like, you're right. I really don't have to do that. And so I went to another store and I was like, oh, I just can't find anything cheaper than that amount anywhere because everything's went up. And so I was like, I guess I'm going to have to. And God was like, turn around. And so I turned around and I just kept on walking, but I didn't know where I was going. I just was walking. And then I was like, oh, they got another area right here. Let me look through here. And man, when I tell you I got like 3 night sets and a robe for like probably 10% of the price that I was going to spend in the other store, I was like, okay. And it's cute. Like, this is cute. I really think that this is cute and it's me. It's not something where I'm doing the most. I don't feel like I'm being over the top in it, but it still makes me feel feminine. It still makes me feel like, beautiful, and like doesn't make me feel like stuffy or like like I'm trying to be like prude or anything. It really feels like it has like my style on it. And it really feels like me. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the most. It just feels like this is where I live. So for it to be me and it's comfortable and it looks cute, it was it was definitely worth it. And I'm glad that I invested in myself. And I hope that you invest in yourself as well. Like, even if you can't just go out and buy new stuff all the time, take like a portion and set it to the side so that you can invest in yourself. Whether it's clothes, because you might need like just that one blazer that you wear with all these different t-shirts, and they can be all different colors. And t-shirts, you might get them at Walmart, not to shout out Walmart again, but seriously, you can get like those $3 t-shirts that are fitted, or if you like them a little looser, and that one black blazer that you invested in that is good quality. And every time, like once a week, twice a week, when if you wash your clothes twice a week like me, you put them in the cleaners. I don't know what your jam is. I don't know why I keep saying jam, but okay, I guess we're using that again. Like we're back in the 1900s. Like my daughter says, I'm like, no, it's like the 90s. We don't say the 1900s or the 80s or the 70s. Like we don't call it that. But yeah, like if that's your thing, then that's what you should be doing. And then that way you are wearing something that fits you. It looks professional, it looks good, you feel good because you're investing in yourself. And just like the one pair of shoes, like I have a pair of boots that I got as a gift from my mom a long time ago. And when I tell you I wore them boots until like the leather started peeling off, like those boots were so comfortable. I cannot find another pair like them except for one pair that is a designer brand. And I am not trying to invest like that. Like I like the boots, but I don't know if I like them that much, you know? I'm trying to stay in my budget. And if I get these boots, I'm going to be out of budget for a few months. So so I definitely want to would I be out of budget for a few months? I say like a couple months, a few months, something like that. It just depends because, life happens and I want to make sure I'm prepared for life too. I don't want to just, like, yes, I do the emergency fund thing, but I also want to make sure that I don't always have to go into an emergency fund when there's an emergency. I want to make sure that I'm I'm being intentional so that when things do happen, then I'm good. I'm not just like, you know, or whatever else. And I don't go, especially if you have an emergency fund, it does take that pressure off of you so that you don't feel as stressed. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about finances, but for some reason, when you say invest, it just flows right in there. So definitely invest in that. Invest in a good pair of shoes that go with everything if you need to, if you don't want to do several different pairs. Like a good pair of flat shoes for women. I'm just saying for women right now. For women, invest in sleepwear. It could be just two or three outfits that you wear interchangeably and that you feel comfortable in them. It's not something where you're doing the most. It's something that really makes you feel like you appreciate yourself. Invest in making sure that you keep your nails nice, clean, trimmed, filed, cut, cuticles pushed back, cuticle oil. Make sure that you have some sort of polish. If you don't like the different colors, do clear. Like make sure that your nails look like they are nice and healthy. Make sure that you're taking care of your teeth. You're going to regular dentist appointments where you're brushing your teeth every day. You're flossing, you're Listerining, you're tongue scraping. Definitely invest in a tongue scraper because you don't know how many things live on your tongue. And your face. You want to make sure you have a skincare regimen. You want to make sure you're taking care of your skin and you're not just putting water on it in the morning. You want to make sure you're actually cleaning it so your pores don't get clogged up so that your skin can stay healthy. You want to make sure that you are taking a shower or a bath every single day. I know some people don't agree with baths or soaking, but I do. I definitely am a bather. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm a soaker. Yeah, I do like that. And so just make sure that you're doing that every day. Make sure that even if you don't feel like it, even if you're just in the house for yourself, it's going to make you feel better because you will be taking care of yourself. I know you're probably saying, oh, it really won't matter. It will. When you don't take a shower or a bath, it really can make you feel lazy. So make sure you're doing it so that way you are putting that effort into yourself so it doesn't just feel like, oh, I never have time for myself. Take some time for yourself because you deserve it and you need it so that you can keep your sanity, so that you can be pouring into yourself, so that when you are giving to a child or children or a partner or friends or family members, you don't feel like you're on E every day. Because when you only pour in other people and you don't give anything to yourself, you are draining yourself dry. And that's not a good place to live. So definitely do the one pair of flat shoes. If you like heels like me, do one pair of heels that kind of match everything. Since black is something that goes with brown now, you don't have to worry about doing black and brown. But the pair of heels, and they could be a pair of pumps that are all black, or a pair of nude pumps. You do the pair of flat shoes that are stylish, that are something that is something that makes you feel comfortable, but it also makes you feel confident at the same time. And you want to do a pair of, I don't really do sandals, but if you do sandals, definitely do something that you feel comfortable in. Don't just do something that you feel like it's going to draw a lot of attention and you're not comfortable in it and you have to walk around in it all day. You want to make sure that you feel comfortable. So you got the sandals, you got the pumps, and you got that. Then you need one pair of booties. Booties are ankle boots, and they could be flat boots that you could wear dressy style. So you can wear them like with a pair of slacks to work, or you can wear them out and about. You want to definitely have one pair of dress pants or two if you work in an office or something. You want to have a button up, and the button up could be like 2 or 3 colors, or it could be 2 or 3 dress shirts, but you want to be able to switch them up a lot, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money. So the dress shirts, it could be one white, one black, and one color. And the color could be like a tan or something like that that's like a neutral color. So that way you can switch them out over and over again. And you want to make sure that you have tank tops, like an undershirt. And the undershirt can be black. And that's not just for every day, that's just for like when the weather starts to get warmer. You want one good pair of jeans. I say one, you could have 3, especially if you wash clothes twice a week, like I always say. But the jeans, and you can switch those up with different t-shirts. All those plain tops that I talked about that you're wearing with the blazer, switch those out. So altogether, that's 20 items. And yes, you're probably thinking, well, that's a lot. Buy one thing at a time, once a pay period or something, if that's what you need to do. You probably already have plain tees. That means you don't have to get any t-shirts. Now you just have to invest in a blazer. You probably already have jeans. You just don't have booties or pumps. Invest in the booties or pumps. There you go. And if you feel like that's too much and maybe you don't work in a business environment and you don't need slacks, then you got your jeans already. Or if you need one pair of pants, the one pair of pants that you, or 2 pairs of pants that you have, just wash clothes every 2 days. There you go. That way you don't have to worry about constantly buying more, but you know you will have to buy more eventually if those are 2 pairs of pants that you're constantly washing. So really just invest in yourself. Invest in learning something new so you can expand your mind so that you can prepare for another position or whatever it is that God's having you do in your life, and you feel like your knowledge is constantly growing, that you're educating yourself. You don't want to ever be stagnant in life and be in one place where you're never growing. That will allow you to just learn more, to be more well versed and well rounded. And for guys, if you have the 3 pairs of pants with the button-up shirt and a blazer, y'all are usually good. And then you got the 3 pairs of jeans. Nobody can ever tell if you wear the same jeans every day anyways, unless they got a design on them, and y'all don't do designs. And you want one pair, definitely need, I'm just speaking from my opinion, you definitely need one pair of tennis shoes that catch people's attention. They need to look real good, and they need to be something that you like. Don't just get them for somebody else. You need to, like, I don't know if it's a pair of like Jordans, like it doesn't have to be the new ones. It could be something that is one of your favorite colors, or it could be something, for me, some people are real sneakerheads, so it would need to be something that's like a classic if you don't plan on investing always in a new pair of shoes. Like it could be the Scottie Pippens or something like that. That will be something that draws a woman's attention, and it will also look stylish, especially if you keep them in a box where you keep them clean and everything else. And then when you are like dressing up for work, you definitely want a pair of tan dress shoes. You want a pair of black dress shoes. You want the 3 slacks in gray, black, and I don't know about tan. Something like that. You definitely want the button ups. You want a white one, a black one, a tan one. I don't know if you want to do different colors, but the ties can just be a whole bunch of different ties if you wear ties to work. If not, if it's just button ups, I understand, because some places aren't as dressy as other places. And then you definitely want your blazer, black, like the pants. Like if you do gray, black, and tan slacks or something, then you want gray, black, and tan blazer, and you can switch those around over and over again different ways with the different shirts. With the jeans, if you got the 3 pairs of jeans and you're wearing your Scottie Pittmans or a classic, some kind of classic Jordan or something like that, then you got that already down. And then you just need a tee, like some sort of shirt, and the shirt could be a polo shirt, because that makes you look like you don't, like you're trying, but you're not trying too hard. But when I say polo, I don't mean like it has to be a polo that looks like with the collar and it's got like all the buttons all the way up or something like that. It could be, I wish I had my thing pulled up, but it could be like something where you have like I saw this one guy do this style. He had like a button up shirt with like it was like some sort of sweater thing, and then the one guy had like a hoodie with like a blazer or something, and it looked really cool together, especially with the slacks or with jeans, and then like the tennis shoes, and the tennis shoes just kind of went with everything. But or maybe there's a pair of like, nobody wears those type of shoes, but maybe it's like a boot shoe or something. Like they're dressy, but they're boot shoes. That would go good with like the hoodie, with the blazer, with the pair of jeans and those shoes, like the boot shoes. And so something like that is simple. And it's only probably like 10 different things that you would purchase. And all of those things would be interchangeable, and it would look like you care about your health, you care about your well being, you care about yourself. And when you're trying to talk to someone, it doesn't look like you are trying to be young. It doesn't look like you're trying to be older. It really looks like you just really care about yourself. And it draws our attention because we're like, oh wow, you dress nice, and you don't have to have your outfit all together. But I'm just saying, if you're the type of person who cares about your outfit, some men can just dress anyways. But I'm just saying, for the guys who are like, I don't really know what to wear, like that's probably what it would be. It would be like a hoodie with a blazer, or it would be like a t-shirt, and the t-shirt wouldn't be like a huge t-shirt. It would be like a t-shirt that's not super tight, like you don't need to see all your muscles, but it wouldn't be like super loose either, like a baggy t-shirt. It would be somewhere in the middle. And then a pair of jeans, and those shoes, those classic shoes, or those shoes that have like a color in it. And then even if you had like a chain, but not like a giant chain, like you're not trying to be Flavor Flav, but like just like a regular like Hemi or something like that would be cool. Or like the Jesus piece, like the small Jesus piece, something like that. But yeah, I mean, even if, ooh, I'm just saying this in general, but even if you had like a plain tee with a pair of jeans and like some boots, that's still cute. But yeah, I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not saying this is how these men have to look. This is just like for people that are trying to figure out what it is that they want to wear. That's just a general like idea. And so just really be intentional with your life. I really don't want this video to be too long. I don't know how I went into this. I know nobody cares about the whole style aspect, but seriously, when you take care of yourself, and men, definitely, like the teeth thing is definitely not just for women. I'm not saying that everyone's going to have a perfect smile or anything like that. I'm just saying, be intentional with your hygiene, be intentional about caring for your body. Like, if you know that you want to be in a relationship and you plan on having children or something like that, like definitely take care of your health. Make sure that you are like in the gym or exercising or walking or something, because like my story with my lungs, like I was so lazy at one point, my lungs would just stop developing, and I had like the ideal, like the way a smoker's lungs were when they're breathing is how my lungs were because I wasn't exercising. So it's not just because you have to look a certain way, it's because it really does deteriorate your health, and it really messes up your lungs, and it's good for your like mental state and everything. So it's not just like about you looking a certain way, it's about you caring about your health, because if you want to be with somebody, hopefully you don't want to just be gone the next day after you meet somebody because you're not taking care of yourself. So that's just like a little tidbit of information. Not like anybody really listens to me, but it's there for people whenever God intends for the person to watch the video. But yeah, just invest in yourself, invest in God. Because if you're investing in God, He takes care of everything else anyways. When you show Him that you're a good steward of your finances, when you show Him that you really care about yourself, He can bless you with somebody else. He can bless you with that job. He can bless you with more money. But He cannot bless you if you're not investing in Him.